Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Of course, when I'm here, it's a baby girl Josephine Kenichi. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of one, I'm a makeup artist slash skincare person based in Asaba, Nigeria. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you find a reason to click on that subscribe button and stay. If you are a returning subscriber, Alpha, what's good? Beyond to be far away from home. I wanted to put enough space between myself and my family. I thought that was the normal thing to do. Being that I was now married, I didn't want them to be seeing me every day. I didn't want to always be in their faces. My husband's house is like a street before my parents' own, and my studio happens to be in my parents' house. So I've always seen them. So I just felt like I needed something different from what it has been now that I was married. And I'm so glad that that yearning, that desire was not met, because I soon found out that I needed that family network around me. With time, my family members came in handy, helping me to navigate between being a single person and moving into marriage and being a married person. And then when I gave birth, the transition into motherhood, my my parents being around me helped. And sometimes too, I found out that when I really needed help, like sometimes I want to go to the market to do one or two things, my family members came in handy with helping me to hold my child. But my younger sister is no longer around. In fact, both my younger sisters, we are three in my family, three girls, right? And the other one just finished serving, the one after me, and my our last born is in school, which now leaves me most often than not with my son. My husband, of course, helps every once in a while, but he has to go to work. So I'm the mother. I find myself um being with him every now and then. But I also know that as much as a blessing motherhood is, sometimes you just want to move fast. Like there are a lot of things I want to do. I want to take my goods to the offices where I used to do when I was single to go and market. I can no longer do that. I want to I just want to take certain risk. I can no longer do that because I have to necessarily think of my child. And then that brought me to the recent mindset that I might need a house help. That mindset started coming gradually because I was telling myself that okay, I needed to organize a makeup class, and I found out that if I was to organize a makeup class, I would need somebody to hold my child for me, because I cannot be in class and then my child needs to eat, and then I will not have to pause the class so that I can attend to my child, or my child needs to sleep. I felt that it was not going to be professional. So I just that's my idea of house help started coming into my head, and then I started hearing stories. I heard some stories, I saw some, and I got scared. Ah, Jesus. There was one particular girl, that one came to stay with somebody I know very well. When she just came, it was like a breath of fresh air for the person that took her. She was good. At the point, I was like, where did you find this person? Please, can you find this somebody for me? Because I would not mind. And then after a while, she struck. The lady has a shop, so she has basically been eating the woman's money. She has been collecting her creams to rub. She's a beginning girl, of course. I think they have this obsession with wanting to be fair and everything, or wanting to bleach. She started rubbing her cream and started doing stuffs with the guys on the street. Someone even now told me that one of the ladies that she got started molesting her child. Ah, that one waked me. Then another told me that every time she's going out, she has to necessarily check what and what is in the kitchen. She has to pay attention to this. She has to pay attention to that. The one that got me really worried was when she told me that she could not leave her house with her children for the lady to take care of. And I was like, how do I have a house help and I cannot leave my children with her so that I can just run to go and do one or two things? Like, it didn't sit well with me. Recently now, my son, when he was younger, because my son is like a year and a half right now, right? When he was younger, I found bathing with him easier for me. Like when I was preparing for work, I would just carry him into the bathing room, and then both of us would I finish bathing him, I allow him to play with the water, and then I finish bathing and we go into the room and we dress up and everything. Then after a while, I started finding out that when I was dressing, this my baby will now come to my back and start trying to hold my bum bum, you know. And that became disturbing to even my husband, because it became disturbing to me, and my husband noticed it and it became disturbing to him. And the conclusion was that okay, I should try not to be naked around him since I was a woman. Even if there was anybody that was going to be naked in his front, it should be my husband. And we started doing that. And I just felt like, okay, what if my child was unsupervised with a house help? Those are the things that usually can lead to molestation, the house help molesting my own child. Like, I know that for a mom with growing children, everybody should be a suspect to you. Like every single person, except the dad. And in some cases, depending on kind of husband you married, the dad can also be a suspect, right? So I started the things started just disturbing my mind, and I was like, no, I can't even think of taking a help. I don't know if this idea is going to change later on, no, because I know that with two children it gets wilder. There was a time I was just having a discussion with one of my friends, and she was like, okay, we are eating soup and stew right now. Trust me, when another one comes, that's when you're going to know how wild motherhood is, because this one is needing attention, the other person is needing attention and all. Even now, I find out that when I'm coming back from the shop and I want to go to the market. It's always tasking now to carry my child along with me to the market, because I'm everywhere telling him, don't touch this one. Oh yeah, stop, Jaden, this one. Sometimes, okay, I say I don't want trouble. Let me just back him so that I can go to the market and get what I want to get. And we get to the market and this guy is crying my ears out because he doesn't like staying in the back. Like the back is so uncomfortable for him, and he's just struggling to calm down. Which would have helped me if someone was around. Okay, I can just tell the person that, oh, stay with Jaden. Let me quickly run to the market to get so and so thing, and then come back, right? I think it would have been easy for me. There are also days when once I just get, because we stay upstairs, right? Once I just get upstairs with my child and I forgot to get something, to come downstairs is always a problem, because I'll be thinking, how am I going to carry this boy and move downstairs? Although my baby is very independent, like since he clocked 1 year, 3 months, going to the studio has been such a blissful ride for me, because he doesn't even want you to hold him. So most often than not, we are moving on the way. Our street is safe, right? We're moving on the way with him walking in my back, or I'm walking in, or he's walking in front of me, and we're just going. And when we get to a place where cars are moving, I then hold him and all. So he has been a very independent person, but still so now imagine now having two children, and then you are now growing a business alongside. Then washing of clothes. I just have only myself, my son, and my husband right now, and I pretty much wash clothes every day or every other day. Like it doesn't even get to 3 days. The clothes just piles. Sometimes I find myself sleeping around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. sometimes, because yes, I also create content, right? So I create content for Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. So most often than not, when I'm done cooking and it's time to rest, that's when I pick up my phone and try to edit videos. Such a struggle for me. That's the reason why I still considering having a house help. And now having a house help is a lot of headache. If you beat your own child normally, everybody just assume that okay, now I'm picking. They just assume that okay, you're being safe with the child because the child is your own. But if you beat your house help, it is called maltreatment. And the house help, they are just going wild. That is if we even see a house help safe. First of all, you can't even see any young girl that actually wants to put their head down, except maybe you are getting a 6 year, 7 year, 8 year old child to come and stay with you in order to take care of your child. And that is also a child. Do you get? Which means that you necessarily need to send the child to school. So the help you are looking for, how do you not get it? The child goes to school by 8 a.m. You are preparing your child, that one is preparing for school, goes to school by 8 a.m. and then returns by 3 p.m. If you get, you will not get children that are older. And if you get children that are older, Jesus, your heart is it's not that they are going after your children trying to molest them, or they are going after your husband trying to get your husband to sleep with them, or is it the one that will come to your house with witchcraft? Hey, Jesus. That's one that scares me. And most time I'm just like, I'd rather just be with my family. I know the kind of forces I'm fighting with, as opposed to me using my own hand to bring somebody that will bring an unknown spirit into my house. But it gets wild. Like, and okay, sometimes I still let me consider crutch. I know my child is going to go to school. Of course, by September we are planning to put him in school, right? When he goes to school, he won't stay there forever, right? Highest 2 p.m. is back. So the roller coaster continues. Although it will still give me some breath of fresh air, but not so much because that school run is another episode on its own. Like, you have to wake up by 7. Imagine me sleeping by 2, 3 a.m. and I have to wake up by 6, 7 a.m. just so that my child can go to school early. I can't even wake up by 7 a.m. If I wake up by 7 a.m., that means my child is going to go late to school. So I need to wake up by 6 a.m. to prepare my child so that I can go to school. And then because I have not yet had a good sleep or something, I'm not telling myself, okay, let me go back to sleep so I can catch up on where I stopped. And the next thing is 1 o'clock because time goes by so fast and it's time to go and pick him up from school. And then we're going to add one more child to him, or two more children, or even three. Sometimes it makes me wonder, all these women that have children or have gone through all this process, how do they do it? I know that our mothers had to stay at home, but even being a stay at home mom is wild. It's actually very wild because the men assume that okay, as you are staying at home, automatically all the burden of the house falls on them, and they have to go out to look for daily bread. Once they come back, they don't even, most times they don't see taking care of the children and taking care of the house as a big chore. They see it as you relaxing. So when they come back, they are demanding for so and so thing because they went out and you were at home. I am grateful for where I am right now. I'm grateful that I have someone as awesome as my husband, right? I'm grateful that God has blessed me with my handsome son. But I'm just thinking aloud that all these things, how does one get to navigate them? And then you have career women in this mix. Like, you have 2 children, you have 3 children, you have to mix that with your career. Sometimes even mix that with a business. I've seen women that have they have a side hustle. They have they go to work and they are still raising children. How do you guys do it? Do you guys know you're superhumans? Like, I just feel sometimes someone needs to pat us women and say you're trying, because it's not easy. All these things have been what has been going through my head, how to navigate myself. So I just came to the conclusion that I will not be needing help. I will not be needing any house help to take care of things for me. I will just have to handle things on my own. But I don't know how it's going to go. I know it's going to be tasking, it's going to be demanding. But I just pray that God gives me the wisdom to navigate that stage when I get there, like two children, which is the reason why, yeah, now I understand why women prefer to just stay at home and take care of the children because it's not it's not a bed of roses over here. The clothes, I know I've mentioned clothes, oh, but I just have my son, I just have my husband. Why are the clothes always piling? My son wears clothes up to 5 times in a day. My husband, Omo, this is the end of my ranting. I just had to come around and talk to you guys about these things because I'm trying to figure out myself. I'm trying to know the road to follow. Sometimes I tell myself that okay, when I get a second child, I'll probably stay at home. But I also know I'm not that person. We women we give up a lot just to raise our families. The men get to live their lives, or so we think. Because they don't get to live their life. I just feel like it's a roller coaster for either of the sexes. The mother has her own stress. The father has his own stress. Most often than not, because you are having your stress, he is having his stress. If you guys don't communicate how you're feeling sometimes, it can breed resentment. The man will be feeling like, oh, just look at her. She's having a beautiful life, taking care of the children, relaxing in the house, not doing anything. And I have to go into the sun to look for money to take care of them, to cater for them. Ha! What kind of life is this? And then you see resentment to start building. And the man will just be like, look at him. He has the liberty to go out, live his life. He doesn't have the burden of taking care of children or anything. How I wish my life was like this. But like if my able people will say, Eke lolly Eke, like they shared the duties. You cannot do what I would do. I cannot do what you would do. So just that these days we women are trying as much as possible to be independent because one does not know the future. But it's not easy on anybody. It's not easy on the men, it's not easy on the women. I just feel everybody should give each other a pat on their back every once in a while and say, okay, you're doing well. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for looking out for the house. Thank you for financially providing and all that. Those of you that have two children, three children, how do you guys do it? I would love to really know, to be very honest. I want to know how you guys do it, how you navigate yourself, how you take care of your day-to-day activities. Maybe I can put some into advisement and work with them. I really love to know. So let's talk in the comments, right? And if you've seen this video to this point, if you've watched me ranting and talking here and there to this point, you are the true MVP. Please click on the subscribe button and subscribe, become a family member already. It's a beautiful place around here. This is going to be your safe space, I promise. And if you have subscribed, thank you, for subscribing. Please like and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.